Now this is a weird sight for Texas. Snow on the ground. I'm here today to find an overhead console that I had left previously because I was going up to the north and I couldn't take it with me, nor did I have the money. So I'm going to see if somehow it is still in the Jeep. I really doubt it's still here. There's the Jeep I'm looking for. There's a little weird chrome piece. Let's see. No way. Holy crap, it's still here. Along with all the wiring. Okay. Okay, good. Anything missing off of it? No. Good. I'm really after this temperature and compass, because that would be cool to have. So I've gotten the whole harness out of the inside of the Jeep. Oh wow, this one actually had a telescoping antenna. I'm getting distracted. So I'm getting the temperature sensor out now. I'm gonna try and find the compass. If you look right in there, you can kind of see where the sensor is behind the bumper. But coming down here, I just made another revelation. It's got the air dam. I did not want to have to spend more money today. So, console, of course, the harness, and the two brackets that go to it. So this thing, it's kind of boogered up in some spots. Somebody ripped this cable out, but that just goes to the passenger window or mirror. Where is it? There's another spot on here that's, yeah, here it is. So all this is gonna have to be patched up. It looks like it's been eaten by mice, but that's fixable. So I got it home. There's a little bit of cleaning up to do. I'm not gonna reupholster it today, but I am gonna clean it up, get all this junk off the plastic. Everything works. This thing's still springy. This can press down and open it up. You even got some 90s branded Velcro in there for a, I'm assuming, garage door opener, but all the light switches seem to work. They're a little stiff, but they'll be all right. So this is the temperature sensor right here that goes behind the grill, and this is the connector for it. And that connector, I believe, is just chilling right there. But yeah, there's a little bracket. There should be a hole in it already. Yeah, if you look right in there, if this thing would focus, you can kind of see where the screw is. Yeah, this won't be that bad. Either that or it goes right here somewhere. I guess I'll find out. I need an actual screwdriver for that. This is going to have to be fished down through here, which is going to be fun considering I have absolutely no space. I'm going to sit right there for now. But it's going to bolt in under the lip here. Probably where this little nut is that I showed you. So the next thing I gotta do is take this kick panel out, and I'm gonna have to probably loosen that screw. There's only two in here. And then take this A-pillar trim off without breaking it. And I can fish the wires through here down into the dash, and there should be some connectors behind here that I can use. Guess I'll find out. So essentially, we're gonna be replacing the harness that plugs into these, and also the lights here. So these are gonna have to come off. This obviously has come out because this is where the new mounting bracket's going to go, along with this one. And I think that'll do it. I might have to cut the headliner a little bit to make it fit, but I'm gonna try and avoid that if I can help it. So yeah, next is gonna be taking these out, and this. Ooh, this thing's dirty. These are T25 Torx bits. These have to come out as well. So I've gotten it down as much as I can without taking the whole headliner out. This is the keyless entry harness, and these are the electronic visors. I might have to loosen that, but because of that one screw hole right there, I just can't take it out. So I'll see what I can do about that. But this A-pillar trim, just be very careful whenever you try to pull it out because it is very brittle. Luckily, I was able to actually just pull it out without breaking it, which I'm very surprised about. But you can see the harness goes all the way down here. This is the one we're going to be pulling out and replacing with this big jumble of mess, which, like I said, there's a couple problem areas that have been eaten up, so I need to fix that and resplice this one. I do have the connector for it, so that'll be easy to deal with. So chances are it's also connected to this dome light, so I'm going to take that off next. Now if you take this off, the only thing holding this up are these two little pinch clips right here. You can take a flathead and pop them out. Just be careful not to lose them. So this is the entire harness that I'm going to be replacing. I just pulled it all out of the Jeep. This is just illuminated visors, the dome lights, and the keyless entry. But the one I'm going to put in is going to be temperature and compass, along with all those things. So let's get to putting it in. This is going to be terrible. Actually, before I do that, I just noticed that the screw holes for the brackets are actually in here too. So that's good to know. I'm just gonna put the brackets in first, and because I still gotta repair the wiring to the harness. So I've got the harness in place, sort of. I got it routed down through the dash and plugged into here. So I'm gonna turn the car on and see if anything actually works. Let's see. Not seeing anything. Maybe I gotta turn it in the on position. Let me see what's going on. Okay, so the computer isn't coming on, but the dash light, or the dome lights are at least. So that's good. So these ones, they do in fact work. Just gotta be a little fiddly with them. This though, I don't know, I'm gonna have to look into this, which I'm not too surprised that it's not doing anything yet. I would have been more surprised if it was, actually. Unless for some reason it needs to ground, but no, because that goes into the harness down here. I don't know, I'll figure it out. So I think I figured out why it's not working, and some of you should be able to see it too. It's these capacitors. So if you look on the back here, you can see where it's just started corroding away at the board. And that's most likely the problem one right there. I mean, you see how bulged out it is. This one as well. It looks like it blew out at one point. And the switch here is melted, so there's a little bit of work that needs to be done, but alright, so everything is buttoned up. Most of it looks relatively alright. Lamp lights still work. They're actually very bright. Computer, of course, doesn't work. I tried fixing it with some bodge wires, but the circuit board itself is just totally destroyed, so I'm going to be on the lookout for another one of those. But yeah, that's what it looks like. As you can see, I kind of cut a little too far into the headliner, but honestly, it's not really that noticeable unless you're like looking right here. But far away, it's mostly all right. I'm eventually going to redo this headliner anyways and probably just get another board for it. And there's a little bit of an extra cut back here as well. But for the time being, it's perfectly fine. And of course this still works. Garage door opener. Yeah, it does what it needs to do. Besides this, which I'm kind of bummed out about, but it is what it is. I'm going to eventually reupholster this as well. More than likely the same color as this gray I'm going to replace the headliner with. But yeah, honestly, it wasn't that hard. I'd really like to find a remote for this, but finding one of those, good luck. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm at the junkyard and I'm sitting in a Dodge Ram right now. Excuse my voice, I'm still kind of sick. Got the flu after I finished recording, so yeah, it's nice. But I found a computer from this Dodge Ram here in this. It's a little bit different. Like, this is a totally different design. I mean, it is similar in a lot of ways. It does have a smaller compass, but I think this should work. The capacitors don't look totally destroyed, at least. So this should be an alright board to use. I'm at least going to replace those capacitors there. Yeah, this should fit into mine. I guess I'll find out. The buttons do need to be replaced. Obviously, they're both melted. But that should be fine. I can find those very easily online. Yeah, we're going to see how this works. Oh yeah, and another thing. Inside this overhead console that was sitting here was a disc for The Godfather and a $100 bill wallet. Like, why? So I've gotten the RAM module in here, and it actually does work. Should pop up yet? There it is. So this button kind of works. You can turn it off and on, but it's finicky. And obviously this doesn't work, so it's stuck in Celsius for now. But I do have buttons coming in today, so once those come in, I'm going to take this board back out, replace the capacitors and those buttons themselves, and we should have a fully working unit. But the compass works, and in the manual it states specifically if you have any magnets or magnet mounted CB antennas, it will throw this off, but honestly I haven't noticed any problems with it. It does seem like it's alright. A RAM display module will work in an XJ. The only problem is the connector is slightly different. On the connector itself, there is a little plastic dimple piece on the top left of the XJ connector, but on the RAM connector, it's on the right. So what I had to do was actually cut the plastic surrounding the port on this module, just so I could slip the connector in. And it plugs up just fine, obviously, as you can see. And the reading here is kind of going a little weird, so maybe the magnets are doing something, but it's not enough during normal driving to really be a bother. Alright, so I've got the board out, I've got my soldering iron heating up. So I'm going to be replacing that button and that one right there, along with at least these 4 capacitors, because they are the main problems. But yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. As you can see, this is the plastic part I had to kind of cut to make the connector fit. Now, I could have just swapped the connector, but I'm lazy. So yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. So I've gotten one of the buttons on. It's a little bit higher up than I think it should be, but it should work just fine. They're actually slightly smaller than these, but again, it should be fine. So now I'm gonna work on this one. As you can see, let me see here. Here's the old one. And yeah, it's completely roached. So yeah, I'm gonna work on getting this second button in and we'll see how it acts. So the buttons have been replaced. These are a lot more clicky, and they are soldered in pretty well enough for me. So I'm gonna replace these capacitors tomorrow whenever I get, or once I have time, because I gotta go into work soon. But yeah, I'll throw this in and see how it works, and see if we have Fahrenheit readings on this. All right, moment of truth. What did I break? Absolutely nothing. Okay, so how's this working? Okay, that works. Let's see, do I get Fahrenheit finally? Hey, look at that. And those buttons feel really nice. Sweet. Okay, that's pretty damn cool. Alright, yeah, so now all I gotta do is just replace the capacitors in it, and this thing is pretty much finished aside from upholstery, but I'm not doing that in this video. God, that feels great. Just listen to that. Wow. Okay, sometimes I even surprise myself. Alright, so these capacitors are coming out next. I noticed a little bit of flickering last night in the display, so I'm just assuming one of these are about to just blow. Probably that one, honestly. I'm not taking any chances, so I'm just letting the iron warm up, and we're getting these time bombs out of here. This one, though, these ones don't usually go bad, so I might not touch it. At least get these 4 out, because the boards I've seen so far, it's always this one that explodes and this one. So those 4 are at least coming out. Alrighty, I got the new caps in. That honestly wasn't that hard. They were tiny, so I had to do some things to get them out, but I didn't rip up the contacts at least. Let's see here, I'll show you the old ones. Most of them were on the verge of just going. Like, you can see some of the corrosion there. Let's see, yeah, this one's the worst. So they were beginning to go, especially this one. Yeah, that's the only one that really wasn't bad, was just this blue one here, but I mean, might as well replace them anyways. So yeah, I'm gonna go throw this into the overhead console, hopefully for the last time, and see if it still works. Yep, it is still working. Good. So that's gonna be it for this thing for now then, because I have nothing left to do to it, at least right now. Again, I do plan on reupholstering it eventually, but that's just cosmetic. As long as this thing's working, that's all I care about right now.